What an exciting adventure you're about to embark upon. Now, some people have asked me in the past whether I think it's a good idea to freeze one's eggs. And I think this is absolutely a great thing to do. If one has the financial resources to be able to do this, and if one doesn't see kids coming in the immediate future, if you don't kind of see an exact roadmap of how you're going to be, relationship-wise and things like this, and life-wise and career path-wise and all that, having kids before, say, age 30 roughly, and you can freeze your eggs, it's great because this is a magical way of being able to buy yourself time, because as years go by, your ability to produce really healthy eggs goes downhill. It becomes more and more difficult with time. And so by taking them at as young of an age as possible and freezing them, you're locking in those youthful eggs that then you can go back and use once you're ready. And this buys you time to go much longer into your life and still be able to really easily have a successful pregnancy. So let's take a look here at 4 things that can be really impactful to do in the 3 months leading up to your egg retrieval. Now, 3 of these are going to be very minimally invasive things. The last one is going to be just about the most invasive thing you can imagine in a certain way, but we'll get to that. So first, let's talk about CoQ10. This, I'm sure if you've watched our channel, you're very familiar with, and here we would be thinking about doing CoQ10 or in the dose of around 1 gram per day, 1,000 milligrams per day, split up into 3 doses. Now, CoQ10 transports electrons and protons into the mitochondria, and this drives ATP synthesis. This is producing pure energy for your cells. And mature egg cells are by far the biggest cells in a woman's body. So eggs are going to require more and bigger batteries, you could say, if they're really going to function well, particularly during the maturation process, which is called folliculogenesis. Egg cells are going to require a lot more energy to develop into normal, healthy, beautiful eggs. So doing CoQ10 to really optimize the health of those mitochondria is a great thing. The next one we're going to talk about is DHEA. Now, this is a hormone. It's a hormone that you can buy over the counter, but it's not one that you should do on your own without any medical guidance, without any testing, because hormones, as you know, control so many functions in our bodies, and when they get out of balance, things can go really wrong. And so this is something you need to do under the guidance of a doctor with the proper testing. Don't just go ordering this online and doing it, Wild West style. So here you would likely be looking at something in the range of 25 milligrams 3 times a day. And this is particularly going to be something that you would look towards if you have a low functional ovarian reserve as determined by an AMH and or an FSH test. And when you're taking this, you want to make sure you're testing your testosterone every 4 weeks. You want to test both the free and total testosterone and get these into the upper third of the normal range. Because when you have DHEA, this quickly is converted into other androgens, and primarily this is going to be testosterone that it's converted into. And this is of crucial importance for follicle maturation. If you are a woman with low ovarian reserve, very commonly you're also going to be found to have lower levels of testosterone. So what exactly is testosterone doing here? So testosterone is able to go in through the T receptor, which is on the granulosa surrounding the egg. So there's actually a receptor for this here. And these androgens are very important for early stage follicle growth. If your follicles don't develop properly, you're going to have fewer eggs and lower quality eggs than you would have had otherwise. And with DHEA, ideally, you want to go for micronized DHEA because this is going to be much better absorbed than larger particle sizes of DHEA. So for the DHEA and the CoQ10, I will put a link down in the description to a great place to get these from that does it in the proper doses. But again, do this, especially the DHEA, with the guidance of your doctor. The next one is NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. And this is an NAD precursor. Again, here we're looking in the direction of the mitochondria. This is something that, NMN, you find it in broccoli, avocado, or beef, but not in large enough quantities to have the super powerful effects that we're going to be looking for here. So this is critical for energy generation in your cells. This is working on somewhat of a similar principle to the CoQ10 that we talked about earlier, but even more powerful. So NMN helps you to make more NAD. NAD plays a key role in the formation of ATP, pure cellular energy. And this, when you take NMN, according to some animal research that's been done, is that you're able to actually increase your NAD levels in the whole ovary. And so this was a study done on mice. And these were 12-month-old mice, which is actually getting to be quite elderly as mouse lifespans go. And they took NMN for 4 weeks. And they found that it enhanced the ovulation rate, egg quality, and live birth rates. Now, they did 2 different groups. They looked at the different levels of NMN in these different groups. So one was taking what would be, for a 110-pound human, would be the equivalent of 350 milligrams. The other group was taking the equivalent of 1,800 milligrams. Now, they actually found that the lower dose group did much better. And this is suspected to be because NMN can degrade to nicotinamide, which is actually a sirtuin inhibitor, which is going to be counterproductive here. So you want to make sure you're getting a really high quality, easily absorbable NMN, ideally liposomal, so you're going to get the most out of it and not have the degradation that can happen. And also store it in a cool place. Store it in the refrigerator. Don't leave it somewhere hot because that's also going to speed up the degradation there. So this is pretty spectacular stuff when you can look at what this has done for the elderly mice. Human studies, of course, have not happened yet in this same department, but it's a very powerful tool that one would definitely want to consider incorporating. Now, I said these are going to be the 3 minimally invasive things. The last one, which is of course much more invasive, is ovarian PRP. This is a kind of therapy that has been pioneered in Greece and taken a bit wider adoption in Europe and is starting to be more used by some fertility clinics in America. And this is something, again, that you would want to look towards if you have trouble producing enough eggs. And this is where they take out your blood, they spin it to isolate the platelet-rich plasma, and then they would go and inject this directly into your ovaries. And so that can be a little bit uncomfortable, but basically what is theorized that is happening here is that this can actually help to reawaken dormant follicles that are not currently producing eggs, and you can get them to start producing eggs again. So if you're going to be going through the process of doing an egg retrieval, might as well make as many eggs as possible. Now that is something that, again, you do it and then it's about 3 months from when it's done to when you would be looking to see the peak effects of its benefits. So I don't know what your timeline is exactly here, but for most of these things, you need to bank for at least 3 months to really get the effects that you're looking for. I wish you all the best with your egg retrieval. This is exciting, it's beautiful, it's spectacular, and I hope it all goes very, very well. Thanks again so much for joining me today, guys. If this video has been interesting or you've learned anything new that you've think might be helpful for you, do me a favor, leave us a like down below and subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear what of this has been interesting to you, or if there's any of this that you're already using and what your experience has been like. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and I hope to see you all again very soon.